Thanks for tuning in to the Urban Scope podcast. I'm back with another topic, controversial NBA topic. Now, just to preference everything, I saw the tail end of Jordan's career. And when I mean the tail end of his career, like after the second time he retired. So that last shot that he hit against Byron Russell in the 96 championship, I believe it was game 6 in Utah against the Jazz. I saw that last shot, and that was the first and last time I saw Jordan live, other than a couple of games in '01 when he played with the Wizards. But I saw the tail end of his career, but I was able to see, and I saw a lot of highlights from Jordan, but the highlights don't do it justice when you see it live or you see it in real time. So just take that in mind. But I was able to see all of Kobe's career because Kobe came in the league around 96. I started watching NBA in 99, 2000. So I saw all of his prime years. I didn't see the rookie years and things like that, but I saw all the prime years past 2000. So I've seen about 16 years of his career or so. But I was able to watch Kobe in his first game in 2000 in the playoffs with him and Shaq, them winning that series all the way to Kobe's last game in Utah when he put up 60 points in the Staples Center. So, like I said, I seen a lot of his career, the majority of his career, but I seen minimal of Jordan's career other than highlights and watching old games and things like that, watching the documentary that Netflix put out, The Last Dance and things like that, and watching Space Jam and knowing the greatness of him through other people. But I do realize the greatness of Jordan and what he meant to the game financially, globally, and just as a general brand and as an icon in the league. Because we know when he left the NBA, the ratings went down for a little while, and then they eventually picked back up. But he caused a precipitous drop amongst the NBA, and he was financially responsible for bringing the league up to where it is. Magic and Bird kind of brought light to it, but Jordan was able to bring the spotlights to it and bring more revenue and create the league for what it is today. And that's what it's going to take for leagues like the WNBA to get there. They're going to need that star like that. But Kobe meant a lot as well. So Kobe was a mentor to a lot of players, and he was my generation's version of Jordan, as he was great and had this hard work ethic and his fearlessness and just his mindset of being able to overcome any obstacle or being able to look at things half full, the glass half full. So I remember in an interview when people were complaining about being double teamed, and they asked Kobe, "What do you think about being double teamed in pickup games?" And he said, "Oh, you're going to bring another one." So Kobe was really willing to take all challenges. He would shoot on 3 or 4 people if he had to. Kobe would do anything to get the game, get the job done and to get the win. And he was relentless like that. And, as the Black Mamba, which Netflix is coming up with a Black Mamba documentary. I'm excited to see that as well. But I always say that Kobe is better than Jordan just from the aspect of being able to win with less. Now, you can say earlier in Kobe's career, he had Robert Ory, Rick Fox, he had Derek Fisher, he had um, all of these different pieces of Shaq, and but when he had the last 2 rings, he didn't really have that. He had a perpetually injured Andrew Bynum, he had a Paul Gasol, he had a Metta World Peace. Most of these players were at the end of their careers, as pretty much Kobe was as well. But he was able to overcome the loss that he had in Boston. He lost by 39 points, I believe, one playoff game, but he avenged that loss the next year and won 2 in a row. So he won 3 in a row in one stint and won 2 in a row in the next one. And if it wasn't for the injuries that plagued him, I believe he would have went even further. But unfortunately, his body betrayed him towards the end of his career. He had been playing basketball at that point for over 20 years, I believe. So, or 15 to close to, well, it was more than 20 years. So coming straight out of high school, he had a lot of wear and tear on his body, and he played a lot of minutes as well. So he wasn't really controlled in that aspect. But Kobe wasn't as more athletic than Jordan, but Kobe was more skilled, I believe, as far as footwork goes, post moves, being able to shoot the three, being able to make free throws. Jordan was up there as well, but Kobe worked on his game so much. And then, like I talked about earlier, his footwork and his discipline was way more superior than Jordan's. Jordan can go out to, party and go out to casinos and things like that Kobe, he didn't do that. He was in the gym. Even when he had time with his daughters, they talked about he would take his daughters to the gym and watch them shoot and play basketball. He was just that dedicated to the game, and there will never be another Kobe because it wasn't about the money for Kobe. It was about being competitive and being a showman and being just an all around great NBA player, trying to be meticulous and a master of his craft. Not to say that Jordan wasn't the same way, but Jordan, it was kind of like Biggie and Pac. So Michael Jordan, you can compare him to a Biggie. He had a great talent, but he didn't have the work ethic of a Kobe, even though Jordan did work crazy hard. But Kobe was in the gym all the time. Everything was centered around basketball. He had that mindset to put out, so much great work in a short amount of time. And he did play close to 20 years, so he was definitely uh, a tough player. But unlike Jordan, Kobe was willing to tutor so many players behind him and show them, what the game is, whether it be a Jason Tatum, a Kyrie Irving, a Trae Young, Kawhi Leonard, and even some of the WNBA players like Sabrina Ionescu. He was able to tutor those players because he was a girl dad and he was a huge advocate of WNBA. And if he would see what the WNBA is to now, he'd be very proud of what the game is, and he has so much more to show the game. And unfortunately, he didn't get a chance to. But um, he was he was more willing to help other people, and Jordan was more standoffish and secretive. But Kobe was that to a degree. But when he left the game, he was able to help players and just give his unique perspective on things as a player and just an advocate of the sport in general. So I will always rank Kobe above Jordan in the GOAT debate, but I do recognize Jordan's greatness, and there wouldn't have been um, a Kobe without a Jordan. But at the end of the day, it's about skill set and the will to win and your dedication to the game. And I believe Kobe was just a little bit more dedicated to the game than Jordan was. But as always, until next time, I'll see you next time.